patriotic Liberty Films.
Just inside the doorway. Use it only in emergency. Better you should pray to God, the Father and the Spirit will guide you and protect you from up here.
All right, callers, we're getting to you here in just a few minutes, but I wanted to finish up with the airport body scanner story. St. Petersburg Times. We've been beating the drum for several years against the naked body scanners because almost 2 years ago, they started putting them in European airports. Then the head of Homeland Security, Chertoff, ordered several hundred of them right before Bush left office. That's why we knew they were scheduled to start going in December of January. Late 2009, early 2010, but they had the underwear bombing and said, oh my gosh, we just decided to order these. Don't worry, we just decided to put them in. They said that the evening of Christmas Day, hours after the staged bombing, and it later came out it was a staged event. We covered that in my film, Police State 4, the rise of FEMA that the establishment has been busy trying to censor. And we knew it had a high level of radiation and was very damaging. Very close to a chest x-ray from the studies that have been out many years before, even in mainstream news. We knew that it did record your naked body. That's how the government was showing images of the system for demonstration. Then they started putting them in England and other areas, and they'd have their movie stars go through, and the women would print off their naked body and say, please sign it for me, honey, baby. And that came out in the news. And now they admit, yes, you're not going to be able to opt out. We're going to make everyone do it. They're trying to pass a Senate bill to make it law. And what it really is a biometric scan, 360 of your body, for passive scanners that up to a mile and a half away. And by the way, that was finally in Wired Magazine just last week. Will you guys reprint that about the cameras to look through your clothes at a mile and a half away? And these cameras project basically a type of sonar or radar. It's akin to it. And it's really high power to be able to see through your clothes at a mile and a half away. And it just looks right through your clothes and scans. And just like you can have a handprint for biometric access, and it creates a digital calculation off measurements, or off of your face, or off of your retina, or off of your thumbprint. I was reading the Pentagon talking about doing this a decade ago. So that's how I knew this was the rollout. Just like I knew they were going to, 15 years ago, have license plate readers everywhere you went tracking you. Or in 96, I read the Telecommunications Act that gave first $6 billion, then total $9 billion to the phone companies, and it described putting entire NSA offices in all of the phone companies to wire everything through it. So, of course, I got on air 15 years ago and said, I guess 14 years ago in 96, and said, the phone company isn't tapped by the NSA. It is the NSA. They're merging with the corporations, and the corporations are making money off of this. And now, what is the big cover story yesterday? A hidden world growing beyond control, the secret America. Close to 1 million secret spies, all heavily paid, in every position of power and expanding, tracking everything you do with the highest security clearances. And these people are on power trips. And they're given undue trade advantage. And it's the new social class. It isn't about being white in America to be the dominant class. It's about being a government operative or a corporate/government operative with government power. But that's coming up after calls. Steve Watson's coming up. The issue here is we can fight back against this. This is outrageous. This is an act of domination. They also have satellites and blimps that get your heat signature, your heat biometric signature, from the top of your head and your shoulders at close to 100% accuracy. They've got that in place. But first they need it attached to your name and your license. Or they'd have to send more than just Google Street View out to take photos of your house and to scan and to steal all of your digital internet traffic. That's the NSA through Google as their front. So when you go to the airport, they've got your name. It's in the database. They put you in the scanner. It goes around, gets a scan of your body. They've got your number now. They've got a biometric scan of your body. These body scanners are biometric readers, just like when you go to get a driver's license under the Real ID Act, which is a national ID card. And again, I told you that 14 years ago, my first film 13 years ago, America Destroyed by Design, goes over all of that from the executive order. When you put your thumb on, it's now in the database. So now the cops can pull you over. And I told you, they'd start pulling you over, making you thumbprint. It's a federal database / international database. So you're being enrolled in the grid. Here's another one. Terahertz detectors can see through your clothes from a mile away. And the intel I've got is it's actually many more than just a mile. But there it is. So will you submit? Will you let them put your 5-year-old daughter or son, or your 10-year-old daughter or son, or your wife in there? And the first time I saw this was 12 years ago. A clothing company that sells higher quality clothes to a rich clientele, Prada's. I saw it in the Washington Post in 1998. We made a big deal about this on air at the time, that it was a biometric body scanner that scanned your body for fitting clothes. And then I did more research and found out it was basically a Pentagon front that was basically giving the machines free to companies. In fact, search engine the term body scanners for fitting clothing, or a new way to fit clothing, body scan. Again, they roll all this out as it's stylish and cool. How do they roll out in Spain, in the United States, and in England, and Japan? How do they roll out chips implanted in your body? You want to go to the Baja Beach Club? You want to go to the VIP champagne room with the girls in bikinis? You want to get free year pass when it's $50 cover? All you do is do a one-time $100 fee to be implanted with a chip, and all the girls have got the chip, and it's so much fun. They found some article, but that's not the one I remember. Is that talking about body scan technology? Yes, it says body scan technology will help apparel firms improve the fit of their mass-produced clothing by providing valuable measurement data on consumer, I'm trying to read it from 10 feet away, population. So see, oh, you want to buy this online. Once your body scan is stored, your wife or you or whoever can get the perfect size belt, the perfect size dress, the perfect suit, and only the richest will have the perfectly tailored suit to their body scan. See there? I mean, that's from 12 years ago, and we were able to pull it up for you right there. We're not making any of this up. This is a total beast grid of control. In fact, Amazon announced today that they are now selling more Kindle downloads of ebooks. They've passed that Rubicon, more digital books than paper books. The problem with that is, in the future, they can basically change digital books simultaneously and edit things and put them into the memory hole and not have physical copies of books. So it's very, very dangerous. I'm all for ebooks, but the fact that it's being phased out is dangerous. And it's going to be the same thing with clothing lines. You're not going to be able in the near future, and I mean within a decade, to go into most stores and buy new clothes. It's going to all be online, and you're going to go online and shop because clothes are all going to be individually fitted. You watch. Just like within 3 years, more than half the Air Force will be unmanned, half of their aircraft. And they plan by 2025 to have no aircraft but troop carriers and maintenance carrying aircraft, or aircraft that deliver tanks, things like that. The entire fighting force of attack aircraft and bombers will be robotic, because humans can't take the G's that a robotic plane can have, and that edge against other enemies, it's going to be unstoppable. The point is, then that allows globalists to pre-program everything individually and now compartmentalize the population in the government, in the corporate structure, in the military, even more, where A, people don't know what's going on and they can be lied to more easily, and B, the globalists can launch entire robotic false flag attacks and blame it on whoever they want. They can shut the web off and claim enemies did it. They can send in a Saudi of 3,000 drone bombers to attack any country they want, and all they've got to have is the robotic assembly lines at the air bases to reload the aircraft and fuel them, and simply have technicians there to make sure all the computers are working. So they might need 1/20th. That's some of the Pentagon estimates I've seen. If you don't believe me, just search anything I say. Because all humans are biological computers. I'm a biological computer. My brain is pretty well trained to semi-photographic. And so you can just take anything I say and search it and find it for yourself. 1/20th of the force they need. And they'll just be disconnected techs